Hey, welcome back, you guys. All right, it is Friday. What is the date today?
17th.
The 17th, yeah, July 17th. So you guys are actually, a lot of times we film this a little ahead of time and we post it on Friday, but we're running a little bit late this week. A lot of things going on. We're just super busy, but I wanted to get this done, and we're going to post this actually tonight. So you'll be seeing this either late tonight or maybe in the morning. So just so a couple things I want to go over real quick. First of all, the coffee and question sessions. Thank you so much, everybody, for sharing and liking and just kind of passing the word out. We're getting great responses. Everybody seems to like them so far. I hope you don't get tired of hearing me rambling on. But I'm having just so much fun doing those. So, and Dad will be back on there shortly doing some more stuff on there. But keep those questions coming. Keep giving us feedback. I personally answer all of the emails, all of the YouTube comments. The only thing that, and if you guys are watching this, the messaging, like the private messaging through YouTube, for whatever reason, I seem to kind of lack on that. So if you don't hear from me, I'm going to put my personal email address in the body or in the description on here. So if you need to get a message to me personally, then just email me directly. That way I don't miss it. In case you don't hear from me on YouTube, then you'll know what's going on. So anyway, that's that. So keep that feedback coming. Give us questions. I'm racking up the questions. Just great stuff. I'm just having so much fun with it. Okay, so that's that. Second thing, our live training sessions, which are going to be the monthly live real-time type of demonstrations where I'm doing some carving, I'm doing special stuff. Those are going to be monthly, and what we've decided to do, at least for this first one, and I'm still planning it, all the things are starting to kind of fall into place. I'll give you more details next week, or maybe on one of the coffee and questions, but by next Friday's video for sure, I'll give you more details on how that's going to work. But what we're going to do is we are going to actually open it up beyond just the premium members for this first month, for our first inaugural video, live training sessions we're calling them. Everybody can jump in. So, but we have a maximum of 100. So if you want to be involved in, I still don't know exactly what the timeline is going to be, exactly when it's going to be live. I'll have a better idea hopefully next week of when we're going to actually plan that. So if you guys have some feedback of when you'd like to see those things, if you think they'd be better off on the weekend or in an evening, let me know what you think as far as timing on those. Now, even though they will be live online, they will be recorded, so you can always go back and watch them. So anyway, that's kind of, everything's starting to fall into place. I got a lot more details I got to work out, but I should have them worked out by next Friday, so that I'll let you know more information by next Friday. So that's enough rambling on. What we're going to do this week, guys, is just like Dad said, on this carving that I did last week, Dad said, are you going to finish those up? And I said, nah, that's, they don't need to see them finished up. Well, he proved me wrong again, and you guys wanted to kind of see these finished up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a difference. Remember, the scorpion was carved with the 60-degree V-groove, and the dog was carved with our profile bit. I'm going to leave the dog the way it is and spray it, sand it off, but the scorpion on this video, I'm going to actually go around it deeper and make it kind of stand out more, so you guys can see what that looks like and how to go about that. Okay, so sorry about that, Dad. I probably just moved that right out of your camera view. So
I'm following you.
Follow with me. Let me get my hat out here, down, and put on my headset. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to use the profile bit, and can you get in on that scorpion there, Dad?
I think I can.
Okay. So right now I'm using the profile bit, the same one I used last week. I'm going to kind of adjust my depth here. I think that will probably be good, probably about 1/8 of an inch, something like that. I'm going to go all the way around it, and you'll see kind of as I go through this what I do. That's not deep enough. You guys can see how I kind of lift the router. If I need to get into one of those real tight spots, I just lift the router so that it's not cutting quite as deep. Still with me, Dad?
Right with you, son.
Okay.
You sure make it look easy.
Well, it sure is fun, I know that.
Lift the router up off of it once in a while so they can see what you're doing.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Okay, so there what I've done is I've gone around and I just made a tighter or a wider line all the way around there. I'm going to just actually brush that off a little bit, get some of that sawdust out of there. It's one of the reasons I really love this cedar fencing, because it just carves so nice. It just carves like butter. There's just never, it doesn't seem to ever be.
We should have smell-o-vision, because even the smell of that cedar is great.
Yeah, it smells amazing. You know what I'm going to do is I am now going to go around one more time, all the way around, a little bit deeper to make that line a little bit wider. So this, in essence then, this will be 3 different depths on this scorpion. So you see how that's just a little bit heavier line where I just went around. And that will ensure that I don't have to get too close, because now I'm going to go around with a cleanup bit or the 90-degree V-groove, so that I don't have to get so close that I might nick one of those little claws or pinchers or something. So I'm going to set that router aside. Now we're going to go with our 90-degree V-groove here. That set looks like it might be a tad deep. So I'm going to bring that up.
Now that's a bigger router that you're using.
Yeah, this is the big DW 618. Yeah. I don't, and again, you guys that watch a lot of the videos know that anytime I'm doing a really a heavier cut, I don't want to really use this little 618 for that, or DWP 611 for a heavier cut. This, I probably could get away with it, But I don't want, I want you guys to know that I use a bigger router when I'm doing my cleanup in my background. Here it's just going to be a little bit, and this cedar is really soft. I could probably get by with it, but if I'm doing a lot, I just don't want to overwork this little 611. I'll use a bigger router. This is one of my favorites. I like the 618. It's kind of overkill. It's a big, heavy router. The Porter Cable 690 LR is a great router for doing that. It's a little bit less powerful, but I just happened to grab the DeWalt when I came out. Okay, so let's just do this real quick. This won't take very long. Going right in the door, right on my lenses. So you can see here, guys, I don't really have a lot of room to make my circle, so I will just bounce that thing up and down. And you can see it still leaves that same kind of texture that I want to do.
Just being careful not to touch the scorpion.
Where I what?
Because you're just being careful not to touch the scorpion.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Whew. So now we take this stiff bristle brush, like you guys know, like most of you know. If you're watching our videos for the first time, then we use a stiff bristle brush after we do that, so that we get any sawdust that might be down in there. We want to get that out before we do our spray operation, so that when it does come out, it doesn't leave a little white spot. So I got a little bit of a high spot there. I'll just chip that out. Try and get all my high spots out so that when I go to sand, I don't get any white in there in that black background. That's pretty much. Alright, so that's good. Alright, don't need those now. Regular glasses will do. Let me throw some black on there. Try not to spray my hand. So you guys know now, I use this stuff as much as I'm using the ink, actually, this primer. If you watch the other videos, gosh, can't remember exactly which video it is, but there's one video where I talk about why. But I'm using this primer black. In essence, there's several reasons. One, it's cheaper than the ink. Two, it works just, actually almost as good as the ink. I haven't really found much difference. See, notice though that I'm spraying really light, you guys. Really light spurts, really light coats. It doesn't matter that much on this cedar, but if you're doing pine, that will make a difference, because otherwise it may bleed into the grain of the board. So this is the cedar, which I don't have any issues with. But anyway, so it's less expensive than the ink, and you can get it at Walmart, and it works just as good. So pretty much those three reasons. But anyway, we're going to give this about 2 or 3 minutes to dry off camera. We'll come back, sand it off, and see what it looks like. All right, guys, we're back. So our sign is now dry, or our little characters are dry. I've got the sanders here, and like you guys know, I'm gonna. We talked about last week. Actually, this is that little belt cleaner. So you just this is. That's how that works, and it really saves on your belt. You can see how much it took off there. It didn't take it all off, but it took most of it off. So this is my my sanding belts that I use. This is a 40, or maybe it's a 50, and then this one is an 80 that I finish up with. So I'm going to go ahead and sand these off. Now here's where I got to be really, really careful, because even though I carved really deep lines around here, that won't do me any good in these lines in here that I'm only about a 32nd deep or something like that. So I got to have a really light touch, because this cedar sands really fast. So hope this works. So that's about all I dare to take off with my rough belt. If my carving was deeper, if I had letters and I was carving, you know, 3/16 or a quarter, I might take a little bit more of that ink off with that rough belt. But I'm not going to push my luck on these really fine lines on the Scorpion. So now I'll just take the rest of it off with the 80 grit. Go. So I don't have a blower here, so
there's your blower.
There it is. So that's how they came out. So you can see this really shows up. Now I could do honestly the same thing here that I did here, but they both show up really well. But I kind of like being able to silhouette and have that Scorpion stand out a little bit better. I think I like this a little bit better, a little bit more dramatic. But that's pretty much all there is to it, you guys. So again, this is that's the way I do my sanding. Now, for you guys that like even a smoother finish, you could always go back with an orbital sander, or even a 120 grit, or a finer grit. If you, I know some of you like the planers or the jointers, and that's fine. You know, whatever you like. I grew up with a sander in my hand, so I really like the touch and the feel of being able to use a sander. I'll sit down here so you don't have to keep panning back up and down. So I really like the feel of the sander, and I've got a touch for them. So once you get used to them, to be honest with you, the sanding operation sometimes takes a little bit more touch and feel even than the router, because you know, you can take off too much in one spot and not enough. Just give yourself some time, guys. Don't try and rush through the sanding operation if you're using these belt sanders. Take your time and learn to get that touch and that feel with these sanders. Once you do, man, that's what I like. That's the way I like it. Especially if you've got a bigger sign and you may have a little bit of the board is thicker in some places than others, and you have to kind of follow the contour of the board. Or if you have, like I've showed on the Coffee and Questions, where you might have a little bit of a cup to a board, these sanders are small enough, they'll follow that contour. Whereas if you're using a big, huge belt sander, big time saver, or a planer or a jointer, your board better be fairly flat, otherwise you're going to take off some of your carving that you don't want to in order to get the rest of it off. So anyway, that's just my thing on the sanding.
That's because you like the sander.
I do like the sanders, yes. Yeah.
I like it, I like it.
All right, there's a comment from behind the camera. Thank you, Dad, appreciate that. All right, so what am I forgetting, Dad? So go on and like our videos, and oh yeah, that's what it was. I knew there was something I'm forgetting. So on the Coffee and Questions, guys, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays. Then Fridays will be the bigger segment. This is when we're in the studio doing this kind of thing. Saturday, tomorrow, you'll get, if you're not watching this Friday night, you'll get this and the Saturday Coffee and Questions. Sunday, I'm resting, so no videos on Sunday. Monday, right back to the Coffee and Questions. So keep that feedback coming. Keep sending the questions, and just keep it up. I'm having a blast. We're really enjoying this. So I guess that's it for this week. We will talk to you guys tomorrow on Coffee and Questions.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Oh, subscribe, yeah, and share our channel and our videos and like and all of that stuff. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.